Gang investigation involving local and federal law enforcement in states all over the country has hit locally.
The Felony Lane Gang is being investigated in Tippecanoe County. News 18's Kayla Sullivan reports how law enforcement is planning to stop the gang. Good evening, Kayla.
Good evening. Investigators say it's all about information sharing and technology. The Felony Lane Gang is a tough case to crack, but law enforcement is confident that with the help of local communities, they can stop the gang from expanding even further.
What looks like a common car break-in may be part of a crime organized on a national scale. Law enforcement calls them the Felony Lane Gang, and so far, they've hit 30 states. Former FBI official and current director of Wynyard Group, Louis Griever, says technology and information sharing is the only way to stop the gang.
This group realizes that they need to travel to new areas where they haven't really been exposed or talked about to be effective.
They say the gangs travel in rental cars across the country and stop at places like gym parking lots. That's because lots of people leave their stuff in the cars, and that's when they'll get your checks and your identification.
And then they would use that far outside lane at the local bank where the perpetrator, who's really just in disguise, posing as, a housewife or whatever, is the farthest distance from that teller sitting behind that glass at the drive-through window.
And that's how the group got their name. Law enforcement calls the lane they use a felony lane because the poor camera quality allows for them to cash their fraudulent checks without being easily identified. As you saw recently on News 18, Tippecanoe County law enforcement is asking for your help identifying this woman, who is now believed to be a part of a felony lane gang crime. Griever says local law enforcement across the country is seeing success in the investigation.
Local police agencies that have been fortunate enough to arrest and capture people have been able to aggravate the charges and the jail sentences that these people get.
Griever says those aggravated charges give them leverage during questioning, which helps identify people in charge of the organized crime group. It's like a pyramid scheme. The top tier trains people to travel and steal people's identification, and then those people hire local participants to disguise themselves and cash fraudulent checks. Griever says the best way to stop the gang is to report all crimes to the police.
If it is the Felony Lane Gang, the best thing you could do is help that next potential victim or that law enforcement agent in a neighboring community catch that person. You're much greater likelihood they're going to recover your information, your documents, prevent any losses on your side, but also put a big dent in this group as they transit the country.
Now, Griever also provides ways you can protect yourself from being a victim in the first place or help minimize damage if you are already one. First, keep your belongings with you and inside at all times. If you do feel like someone has been through your stuff, take a look at your checkbook. He says sometimes they don't steal the whole book, just a few checks from the back. Also, keep a constant inventory of what you have in your purse or your wallet. That way you'll know exactly what's missing and be able to cancel or freeze any credit cards immediately. Kayla Sullivan, News 18.